Thank you for watching Our Town. And you're also, of course, watching Norfolk Public Access. I'm Anne-Marie Battistone. I'm sitting in for Jill Hindley, and I have some good news to share with you about transportation between towns, including Norfolk. And with me today is Mary Bassaloni. Mary, thank you so much for coming. Now,
Nice
you
to meet you.
you work for GATRA.
I do. I'm the mobility manager at GATRA, and I do a lot of outreach. We try to let people know about the services that are within their towns. And this is, we're very proud, this is a brand new service called the Tri-Town Connector. And it's between Norfolk, Wrentham, and Foxborough right now.
Now, so it started in July?
It started in July. We did a sort of a trial run in July where we made it a free service for a month. And we just wanted to see, we just wanted to get the route down before we actually opened it up to the real public. I mean, we had it running. We often do that just to see if there's any kinks in the schedule and we can get it moving right. And it's been great. I mean, people seem to really like it, but we're here today to let more people know about it because it's really a great service.
Now, how did people find out about it when it started in July? I didn't know anything.
We did a huge advertising push. We were in the Sun Chronicle and we were in all the local weeklies. And we also have been just going around and telling, like, the police stations and all that about it. We need to do more. So one of the things we're going to do is in a lot of the grocery stores and town offices, like the libraries and the police station, we're going to have this little tabletop so that people can get the schedule, because we have the schedules right here. And we're just trying in every way we can. The bus drivers are actually really playing it up. We have two great bus drivers who are doing this route, and they're getting the word out as well. And we're really excited about where it's going, and it gets people to Patriots Place. It gets employees of the MCI to work. It gets visitors to the MCI to see their families.
Oh, that's a big help.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those folks don't have cars.
I know, and they have to
see them sometimes with children, and it's tough.
It is.
It's quite a walk.
It is. It looks like it's quite a walk. I've seen.
Well, it's got to be 2 miles.
I think so. I think so. So that was one of the incentives, and also we were told by the Council on Aging's and surveys that we've done that there are a lot of elderly who don't have transportation, and so we're hoping in October at some of the senior centers, maybe we're definitely going to do something, I think, in Norfolk. We're definitely going to do something in Wrentham, and in actually this route connects to the FAB route in Franklin also, and we're going to have like senior days where we're going to get them on the bus. We're going to get the seniors on the bus, and we're going to take them out to lunch and at Patriots Place.
Oh, what day is this?
We don't know yet. We're working it with the senior centers. We're hoping sometime in November.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So we're going to take out seniors to lunch so that they can get on the bus. And some people are just not they're familiar with the dial-a-ride and the other kind of things, but they're kind of hesitant about actually using a fixed route bus. So we're going to show them how to get on and how to wave down the bus and how to pay their fare, and maybe it'll help, so that they're not as nervous about using it. Yeah.
Now, we're going to talk about these other services in a little bit.
Right.
Now, if people are shopping, I notice here it says, groceries limited to what passengers can carry. So that would mean not a little cart.
Yeah, it's really difficult because these are the smaller buses. There are like a little mini buses.
Yes.
And they sit about 16.
Oh.
There's 8 rows, and they sit about 16. And it would just be really tough because there's not a whole lot of space in that aisle.
Yes.
So we do ask that they not bring the the carts.
Yes.
You know, and
Is there any kind of a platform in the back like they have on the airport buses where people sort of sit things in the back there?
no, because what we have in the back is the lift. So if someone has a
right.
wheelchair, the lift comes out and the wheelchair goes on, and then we lift them into the van. So this is a fully accessible, wheelchair accessible van. So we can't put packages back there.
Right,
obviously.
right,
That's
right.
just for the lift.
So I'm just looking at the map here, which will be on the screen, and now I've read something here about flagging down the bus. Can you tell us about how that'll work?
Okay, so we have designated stops, and some of the designated stops in Norfolk is like the Norfolk MBTA, the MCI, and that nice Pond
Council on
Street,
Aging.
the Council on Aging, and also that Pond Street recreation facility. That's also a designated
yes.
stop.
So people can park there for free.
Park there and wait for the bus. But if they're along the route and they're on the right side, because the door opens on the right side, they just need to wave. And the bus driver will see them, and he will stop the bus and pick them up. The only place you can't do that
That's
is on Route 1.
amazing.
Though on Route 1 in Foxborough, we're not allowed to stop. It's a no-stop zone. So when you're on Route 1...
I can understand that.
You can,
But that's just a short part of it, isn't it?
right. It's just a short
And
part.
then actually you're just going to turn right off and go into Patriot Place.
Right.
To the Brigham Women's.
So, but anywhere else along the route, they can pick it up just by waving to the bus driver.
So I suspect they drive in the right-hand lane so that they can slow instead of coming over.
Right, exactly. And
go ahead, excuse me.
but it was funny. I was on it the other day, and the bus driver recognized one of the young women who goes to the facility regularly. I don't know if she works there or what. And he rolled down his window and he said, "You need a ride?" And she goes, "Yeah, I left my schedule at home, so I didn't know when you were coming." So she popped up on the bus, and he's the friendliest guy. I mean, he just his name's John. And he just picked her up, and she got on the bus halfway to the MCI facility, but she got on, and he recognized her. He knows that she goes regularly.
So for these people living on these streets here, like 1A here that goes 1A that goes down. So it's 115, and then it heads down 1A. Okay. So if you're living right there on 115, then that's very convenient, isn't it?
Right.
My
You
goodness.
can get right on it and head to the to the Patriots Place or downtown, or if you needed to go back to, I don't know why you would, but if you needed to go back to go to Rentham for any reason, for a doctor's appointment or something, you can get on to go to Rentham.
Now, when does it make this turn here? I noticed it crosses 1A.
Okay, so we have the schedule,
and
there's an outbound and there's an inbound schedule.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay, so if you look at the schedule, the outbound starts at the Big Y in Franklin, and then goes into Rentham. And then from Rentham,
I see how you have it. Oh,
and then it goes to Patriots Place. But I'm thinking that you would want to get on if you were going to Patriots Place here in Norfolk, you would definitely do the inbound, which starts at the MBTA, and then goes to the COA, and then goes to the Pond Street facility, and then goes over to Patriots Place.
Now, how long?
Okay.
And here's the times.
Right. So it's the loop. It goes once an hour. Okay. So it's an hourly sort of shuttle, and say you were going from the MBTA in Norfolk to Brigham and Women's. So it is about 20-minute ride. Yeah, it's about a 20-minute ride, which isn't bad.
Now I'm seeing. Now explain to me on this schedule these blanks here under Brigham and Women's. So if you wanted to go over there in the morning, you'd have to take the 8:54 out of Norfolk.
That's right.
And you get there at 9:30.
The blanks mean that we don't do that stop.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So.
And then you would just stay there until your appointment, and then And then come
And
back.
then you come back and it's the opposite one.
Oh, right.
To come back. So you would start at Brigham and Women's.
Right.
So say it was 11:39
Yep.
and you'd get back
Yep.
to, I don't know if you're going to the Pond Street facility or if you're going
Exactly,
downtown to the
right.
MBTA.
Huh.
And then it only stops
that's
at
11
the north.
minutes
But yeah,
to get
yeah,
back to Pond
that's-
Street.
Yeah, that's not bad. And
No.
then but you need to see that it only goes to the Norfolk COA once a day.
Right.
Either way.
But I think don't
So.
people sometimes spend the day there anyway?
Right. You get
And
about,
even if somebody picked
get
you up,
about-
it's still a tremendous
yeah.
convenience.
To get back to the COA, we give them about 2.5 hours. From the
that's-
time that they're stopped off until
Right.
the time they're picked up again, it's about 2.5 hours. And I mean, most people can do what they want at Patriots Place within 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the shopping and so forth.
If they were going to lunch or, there's a new bowling alley over there.
No.
That's really cool.
Where
it's
is
right
it? Where
behind.
in the world?
It's the I didn't know. I just went there last week. There's the Brigham and Women's is like right ahead. You have
Yes,
to go up
yep.
that street. And right to the left is this bowling alley. It's called the Splitsville Luxury Lanes. And that would be a great afternoon. Get lunch and go bowling.
So if you're facing Brigham
Yeah.
and Women's, it
If
would
you're,
be
that road that goes into Brigham, and it's a
Yes.
little side road.
Yes.
If you're going
It's a little
towards
confusing
there,
over there. Actually, there's a lot of roads.
Yeah, this is the one that goes to the main, and then it's a
It's
little.
not on the side of the stadium. It's on the side of the
It's
stores.
the side of the store. You come up. That's the way our bus comes up. It comes up the side of the stores because it goes by all the stores, and then it sneaks up that little lane
Oh,
to
yes,
go
yes,
to.
at Davio's
right,
there, at the-
right,
yes.
right, exactly.
And it's up in there?
And it's to the left. It's a
Wow, I wonder where they
Splitsville-
had room for
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It was a great find. I think it'd be a great thing for seniors and even like on school vacation weeks.
Right.
The kids could get it at the Pond Street, and then they can go in, they can do bowling, they can, eat, do some of the activities at the place and then come back a couple hours later. It'd be great.
I wonder what
Yeah.
space they used for that, because you need quite a bit of space for that. I know that CBS scene is in the back there. I wonder if it's back next to them, because that's
Not really. It's sort of like tucked. The medical centers are in front, and it's
Yeah?
sort of tucked back behind the medical centers.
For goodness sake.
Yeah, it's great.
Now I notice this fare is very low. So are you subsidized by the state?
Yes,
or-
we're public transportation, and we're part of the MassDOT. We're a regional transit authority, and we're subsidized by we have federal, state, and local funds that we get to run run the transportation. It's $1 fare for adults, and it's 50 cents for seniors, for people with disabilities, and students through high school.
And if you're Medicare, which would
Medicare
be the
card,
seniors,
yep,
basically.
yep.
Now it says transfer to the Franklin area bus. Now that is a completely different schedule, right? A
That's
different
right.
route.
That's fab. That's over in Franklin, and you could pick this up at the Big Y in Franklin, and you could go on the fab bus in Franklin from this bus.
Now is there a website for them to get if they're interested in the fab route?
Yes. There's it's www.GATRA GATRA.org.
Oh, org. Okay.
And it's under schedules, and they would look for the Franklin area bus.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
So that's to go a little further beyond.
Right. If they wanted to go to Franklin, it's
It's
a
just
loop.
Franklin.
It's just Franklin, but on Saturdays on the Fab bus, they go out to Bellingham. To
Really?
the marketplace out there.
Oh, my
They go
goodness.
they go to the where the Whole Foods is.
Yes.
And they also go across the street to the
Market
Walmart.
Basket and the Walmart.
Walmart and Market Basket. Right.
Huh.
So that's just on Saturdays, though. It's not weekly.
And I assume the same regulations about packages and so forth, or is that a bigger bus?
It is a bigger bus. It's a little bigger bus, and I have seen people who bring in quite a few packages on that bus. But yeah, it's the same regulations. I mean, it's just courtesy.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really on any kind of public transportation. It's just there's basic rules of courtesy, and one of them is not to block the aisles in any way.
Oh, and people can
So,
take a fall. And
yeah.
now let's talk about these other services that you offer. I'm really interested in this Miles for Health that will take you into town.
Right. Miles for Health is our long distance service. And basically, it's for seniors 60 and older, and it's also for people with disabilities of any age. And it's an eligibility program, so you can't just do this. You know, you have to actually fill out a form. There's the senior access form, which is just one page, and then for people with disabilities, they have to fill out a form, and then their physicians need to fill out a form.
Now, where do they get those forms?
Those forms are available on the GATRA website under Special Services.
Oh, okay, Special Services.
There's a tab for Special Services, and then the A and B form for the people with disabilities is there, and the senior access form is also. They can
Which
download
I suppose if
those.
they're already disabled, they would probably already have this
They
done.
probably would, and what happens is you become eligible. You get all your information in the mail from GATRA, and then it's a reservation service. So basically, what you do is the day you have your appointment, you try to book your appointment.
9 and 1.
Between 9 and 1. And we go into Boston 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we go to the Burlington, Framingham, sort of the Metro West, the Wellesley area, the Newton-Wellesley area on Wednesdays.
Now, where do you go in Burlington?
There's a medical center up there. I
Well,
forget
there's the
which-
Leahy. Oh, yes, there is. Is
Yeah,
it Leahy?
yeah.
The Leahy. Okay, so
Yeah. So they try to schedule those other trips on Wednesday.
now where do you pick this up? Oh, where
This
you
is
are to be picked
this
up?
is actually curb to curb.
Oh my.
So this
Wow.
actually comes to your home.
Oh.
And that's the same with Dial-A-Ride. It actually picks you up at your home and takes you to the medical facility. You know,
So the difference
so-
between this and Dial-A-Ride is that this goes much further.
Oh yes, Miles for Health is a long distance. It goes to and Dial-A-Ride, which is also
Oh,
for
I've seen that.
seniors. Yeah, they
That's
have the
been
big
around a long-
Dial-A-Ride
yes.
on the side. That one is a local service, and that takes you anywhere within a 15-mile radius of Norfolk. And that's, again, for seniors, and it's also for people with disabilities. And it's for medical and non-medical.
So if you do not have a disability, you can still use this or not?
No.
Okay.
No, you have to be over 60.
For number one, yes.
Right.
But so if
or you have to have a disability. It's not for everyone.
Okay, so
it's an eligibility process again for
so
that.
someone who's not disabled but who is over 60 is
They
okay.
can take it. Yep. The medical trips take precedence, so
Sure.
they fill those rides first, and if they have availability after that, then they'll take seniors to any place that they need to go.
So this, if you wanted to go into Norwood, say,
Right.
you'd use this.
You could use Dial-A-Ride as long as you're 60.
but not the Tri-Town
Yes,
Connector.
The Tri-Town Connector does not go into Norwood. No.
All right. So
no.
the Tri-Town Connector is just Franklin, Rentham, and
Norfolk and Foxborough.
And Foxborough.
Yeah. So it's more than a tri-town.
That's right.
It's-
That's what I stopped that puzzle.
It's
What's
a-
the-
but actually, it doesn't really service the Foxborough area because we can't stop on that Route 1
True,
corridor.
true,
So that's why
right.
we called it the
Oh,
tri-town.
that's true. Well, that's right, yeah.
So. So those are the services, and if people want more information, our operator for all of these services is Keesland, which is in Norfolk. Their offices are in Norfolk, and they're our actual operator. They operate these services, and their number to call is 800-698-7676.
That's for the
and that's for
Dial-A-Ride.
all
Oh,
services.
for all of them.
It's all
And
services.
Keesling is a business. Oh, I see. here.
Keesling's a business. As a public entity, we contract out our services, but we actually own the vehicles. So that's how it works.
So now, tell me, How long has the dial-a-ride been in existence?
This has been in existence for, I think, since 2007. So the dial-a-ride and the Miles for Health has been in service since 2007.
Oh, both of them.
When Norfolk and Rentham and Foxborough and Franklin became part of the GATRA system.
So did people petition
The towns,
GATRA
the
or
towns get money from the MBTA because they have they get money for transportation, and these towns got together and wanted some local transportation as well. So they got together and we worked with them to figure out what kind of transportation they wanted in their town. And for the last 7 years, they felt that the long distance and the dial-a-ride was what they wanted, and that's where they used their money. But it was just recently, I guess about 2 years ago, that we started this route with money that we got from the federal government. It's called a reverse commute. It's called this JARC money. And with that and some other funds, we started this Tri-Town Connector. So it's all, that was federal money.
Now, what is the history of GATRA itself? It did start in Taunton?
GATRA started in Taunton and Attleboro back in, it's almost its 40th year.
Wow.
I think we're 1 year short of our
You know,
40th
I don't
year.
see them on Route 1 when I go down there in the North Attleboro. Do they not go on Route 1?
Route 1, they go, yes.
I don't
We have many buses on Route 1.
But they're smallish.
Yeah. No, they're the big buses.
Oh,
the
all
big
right.
buses go down Route 1 to all the malls, to all the shopping. Yes, we have Route 10 down there. We have Route 24. We have Route 12, I think. Yeah, we have several buses that go down that way.
And they go and
Yeah.
they go into, say, the mall where JCPenney is.
They go into the Emerald Square.
Yeah.
They also go into the Target. They go across the street to
In the back there where Joanne is?
Yes, they go back there. Yeah.
Now, let's say I
Yeah.
wanted to go down there by bus. What would I? How would I hook this up?
So unfortunately, we're not like Boston.
Right.
You cannot really connect from Norfolk to our lines in the only way you could do it is if you took commuter.
Yeah.
And you went into this is the Franklin line, right?
Yes.
Yes, this is the Franklin line, which doesn't go into our Attleboro line because that's the Stoughton Providence line. So they don't connect. Unfortunately they don't connect.
Is there? And you can't hail that GATRA bus. Now we're not talking about these.
Oh, the ones.
Yeah, the one that we're talking about that goes to the shopping centers.
Again, you can't hail them on Route 1, but you can hail them on any other part of the route.
Yeah.
As long as they're not on Route 1. If they're in the shopping areas, you can hail them there.
Yes.
You can hail them South Washington, which is
Oh, that
towards,
goes through the center
yes,
of
it goes
North
through,
Attleboro.
yes.
So you could go into North Attleboro.
Right. You could go into North
Park there
right.
at that parking lot there across from the Chinese restaurant.
Exactly. And you could get on it there. You can get it on the Stop and Shop. You could, and then you can get on that whole line. There's 10 different bus
Or
lines.
the Stop and Shop on Route 1.
Right. It stops at the Stop and Shop at Route
'Cause
1.
that's another
Yeah,
fair distance
yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
If you're there, if you're
that's
already
right.
there, and then
That's
there's
right.
the. So what would be the closest then if I wanted to say park in a parking lot at a store with the CVS? Is the CVS, because the CVS is a little further north?
It actually stops by the CVS. It
Wow.
stops on that part of Route 1. It stops right in front of that CVS. Yeah.
I wonder if there's an issue. We'd have to check and see if there's an issue with parking as far as the CVS is concerned. With you being there,
Yeah. It
for
stops
a
right
while.
there at that CVS. Yes.
My goodness.
It's just the once it gets up towards the malls more.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any stops
Oh no,
up
it's
there.
yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
yeah. So it would
Yeah.
go. So it would stop at the CVS, and then where? Do you know offhand where it would go next?
It goes from the CVS. It goes to the malls. It'll stop.
Well, that's good to know.
It can stop by the Showcase.
Yep.
So it can stop you there, and then it goes right into the malls.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's Route 10.
Because that ride down there is a little hairy. I mean,
It
there's
is.
people going
It
off.
is.
There's some sort of a turn off,
Yeah,
and then people.
yeah.
And I, you
That's
have to be on the
widely
ball when you
used,
drive down that
yes.
section of Route 1
Yeah.
south.
Yeah, that's a pretty widely used bus. There's a couple of them.
That's good to
Yeah,
know. What's the
yeah.
fare on that?
Same. It's $1. It's $1 for adults and 50 cents for people with disabilities, people over 60, and students through 18.
So at Christmas, this would really be a boon
Yeah,
because
and we put on a lot more buses during that time.
oh, you do?
Yeah, so
because
that
it does get. I mean,
it
of course,
gets a
if you're in
little
a vehicle, you're going to be stopped. But
Right,
still, I mean, you
right.
don't have that,
Right.
worry of being in an accident
Yeah.
or.
Yeah, so
we-
it's that those
Wait,
are
that's
used
some real news.
widely used routes.
So again, if
Yeah.
you wanted to figure out, how you would get, say, down into these shopping centers, like we were just talking
Yeah.
about, you could still call the 698 number.
Yes, yes.
And they could advise you as to where you could go and.
Right. We do have one that goes about as close as you guys can get is we have a Route 14 that goes to Plainville. Mm-hmm. And it goes over by the Myanmar.
Yep.
Over there. That's about as close to this area that you'll get.
Uh-huh.
And that is the
And that
Route
will also
18.
go down to the.
And that goes right downtown to it goes to the transit center in Attleboro,
Uh-huh.
and then you can transfer there to the malls. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
terrific.
So-
That's wonderful.
And that with the new racetrack, that is going to be extended. The new, not the racetrack, but the casino, that Plain Ridge.
Yes.
It's going to.
Were they going to have
probably-
slots there?
Yeah, well, I guess
did they
we're all
always?
voting for it soon, right? Isn't it in November that we're voting if we want it or
It's a
not?
question,
But
yes.
they were one of the spots that were chosen for the slots.
After all that,
I know.
all that big build up and this, that.
I know.
And now they're having the question.
I know. So now we're going to
Unbelievable.
vote. So if that passes, and I'm not saying that I want it to pass or not,
yeah,
but if that passes, then we have to look at extending our route
'cause that's right
out
there before
Right.
you even get down.
Yes.
That's still
and they
in
need
Plainville.
They actually need to have a public transportation plan to have that kind of service there.
right.
So.
Oh, well, this has been great news. And thank you so much for coming and doing this outreach
It was
with
a
us, so we
pleasure.
can.
Yep.
And
Yep.
again, all the information is going to be on the screen, and Katie will dutifully put up the map, and so you'll be able to see everything, and the phone numbers are there. And I just want to thank you so
Oh,
much
it was
for being
great.
on
It
our
was great.
town. I really
Yep, yep.
appreciate you
And
coming.
I love coming to Norfolk. Yeah, it's a wonderful town.
Thank you for watching Our Town. I'm Anne Marie Battistone, sitting in for Jill Hindley.